Well guys, College Football 26 is finally here, and now that they've incorporated the high school experience into Road to Glory, where you can play moments in your high school career to earn your scholarship to the schools you want to go to, it becomes even more fun and extremely immersive. And since I am always looking for new challenges in my Road to Glory series, I thought it'd be fun to only add schools to our list that are schools that I either attended or got accepted to throughout all of my numerous college experiences. And unfortunately, since a lot of Division III and Division II schools aren't on here and Ivy League isn't in here either, that does only limit us to 5 schools, which I'll get into in a little bit as we put them onto our board. And since a lot of the schools that are going to be on this list are schools that are in better conferences, I think we're going to make ourselves a blue chip athlete. That does give us an opportunity to potentially go to all 5 of the schools that we're going to put on the list, but also still make it difficult enough that we're not just going to be a 5-star athlete. So we're going to go 4-star, and thanks to the poll that was on the YouTube, everyone decided that we're going to go the QB route. Now in a future Road to Glory series, we might end up going with a Mike linebacker or potentially with a halfback since we didn't do that last year. But again, we'll definitely see as time goes on. But for now, we're going to go with our QB athlete, and since I don't really want to be a pocket passer, I feel like we're not much of a scrambler, I think backfield creator would probably be the best archetype here. I think that is going to be the second slowest of the archetypes on here, but also make it so that if we need to scramble out a little bit, we're going to be able to do that, and hopefully that'll make us a little more attracted to some of these schools. Now, of course, some of these schools aren't necessarily going to fit our archetype and vice versa, but we'll see what ends up happening as we go through our high school experience. But now that we have a guy all made and we have all of his stats, all of his mentals, his physicals, and everything else, I think it's time to start to look at the schools that we're going to be putting on our board. But again, there aren't going to be a ton of them because of the schools that actually fit the criteria here. So let's get into all 5 of the ones that we're going to be putting on our board. And of course, that first one is going to be University of Miami. This is one of the schools that I applied to for my grad school. Obviously didn't end up going there, ended up in California instead, and seeing as how Miami is in Florida, I think you guys can totally understand why. Now, if you guys did see the Road to Glory in College Football 25 that I did, then you know that I did end up getting my master's at San Diego State, which is going to be the second team that gets put on this list. Now, going back to my undergrad though, Stanford was one of the schools I really wanted to go to. Of course, I chose baseball instead. Now, the last 2 schools that are going on this list are schools that I actually applied to when I was transferring schools in undergrad. And that first one was actually Florida State. I know it sounds a little weird, especially for how much I just shit on Florida, but they, along with the school that I did end up transferring to, did have really great actuarial science programs, which is why I ended up applying to both of them. But obviously didn't go to Florida State. Instead, went to University of Illinois. Now, not exactly the place where I ended my college career, but one of the ones that I transferred to anyways. And with these 5 schools on the list, including 2 of them that are top 25 teams right now, that means that we really need to show out in high school to make it so that we have a chance at all of these schools. Now, as you see, we do have 2 4-star schools in Florida State and Miami, a 3.5-star with Illinois, Stanford is a 2.5, and San Diego State is a 2. So realistically, San Diego State is probably going to be the most likely landing spot for us, and looking at their depth chart, a 76 overall junior as their current QB number 1 means that we might actually have a chance right off the rip. Now, Stanford is right up there as well, just a 75 overall sophomore, but a 74 overall freshman too, so there might be a little extra competition. Needless to say, Carson Beck is at Miami right now, so a 91 overall would be really difficult to overcome. Kind of the same thing with Florida State, as Castellanos is an 86 overall quarterback, and then Illinois does have Luke Altmaier, who is an 89. Of course, after he graduates, there really isn't anyone back there except for Newton, who is a 75 overall. So again, realistically speaking, Stanford and San Diego State are probably the 2 schools that we'd end up at most, but hopefully if we do well in high school, Illinois, Florida State, and Miami will be on that list as well. So I'm going to move Stanford up to number 1 on the list though, because it is kind of a stretch school because it is a 2.5-star as opposed to the 2-star that San Diego State is. Of course, Miami, Florida State, and Illinois are going to be down there as well. So needless to say, I don't know what happens with other schools that might take an interest in you depending on how well you play. So maybe those 5 ad schools end up populating with teams that have an interest in us. But for now, those are the only 5 teams that we have on our board, and I'm really hoping that one of the first 2 is going to be the one that we end up at. So apparently Coach now wants to talk to us about the recruiting tape and everything, which I would assume would be those moments that we have in high school to be able to kind of gain that film score. and just to make it so we're a little more appealing to some of the other schools, and not just the film score, but I did see in Bordeaux's video that some schools take certain challenges a little more seriously than other ones, and they up the multiplier for that film score. So it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening throughout our entire high school experience. But I really don't want to read everything that Coach says, so I'm just going to give him a polite answer and say thanks, and we'll figure it out on our own. So now that we have all 5 schools on our board, we've talked to Coach, who's ready to talk to us about week 1. This guy just doesn't shut the hell up now, does he? So let's give him another polite answer. That way he'll actually keep us on the field, and we'll have a chance to be able to perform and be able to up that film score. So it looks like we do have the opportunity to select 4 different moments. And honestly, I think I'm going to avoid this setup. I think we're going to go with the 2-minute drill, the mobile dealer, fearless, and keep the drive alive. And we're going to go with those. We have some pretty good multipliers for the schools that we have selected. And again, hopefully we'll actually get a couple more schools on the board as well. Ones that we probably won't end up going to, but ones that'll be on the board with a little bit of interest. We got some fans. Depending on how I do in this game, I don't know if we're going to have that many in the stands by the end of the season, though. So we have to complete passes inside the hash marks for a total of at least 10 yards, and we can't allow someone to get an INT. So let's do what we can right here. Let's see what we can do to get some passes across the middle. So if we are going to go for some plays in the hashes, may as well get maybe like a little crossing pattern right here, as we're going to hit him over there. Might be a little out of the hashes, but at least we end up picking up the first down. It's a nice little game right there, and that does bring us up. I think that's a little closer to midfield. So we're going to, yeah, unfortunately that didn't count for one. So I think we're going to try to take Fonseca over here to the left and hit him across the middle. That should get us a couple of yards. Almost picked off, so maybe we shouldn't have thrown it to him. But unfortunately, since he ended up breaking up that pass, we don't really have a shot here. But we're still going to try to get the 10 yards anyways, just for the hell of it. And that's not going to be in the hashes, and he's not going to catch that either. So let's see what we can do. Maybe we can actually hit our halfback out of the backfield here. But either way, we just need to find a way to pick up a first down. And that's going to be really good. He had to come back for it, and he doesn't hold on to it. Gotta love that. So we didn't complete anything from that, but hell, we have 3 more moments in this game. And this one, we just got to get us down into field goal range. But we do get more points if we end up throwing a touchdown pass. Maybe that means that we actually have to take these shorter passes. We'll see. Maybe someone will actually get free over here. Oh. Never mind. I was going to say great little route by the receiver, but unfortunately, route running is the only thing he's good at. Dude can't hold on to the ball, apparently, so we're going to have to find someone who can hold on to it, because our game tape right now does not look good, as we are going to scramble out, and we're just going to have to throw that one away. So now on a 3rd and 10, we're going to have to find a way to actually get someone free. Question is, who's going to be able to actually get some kind of separation here? I'm looking at a Hyde over on the left here. Let's hope that he can get free. Can he come back to it? Nope. That wasn't even great accuracy. And now on 4th and 10, there goes our second moment. So not great on the first 2, but we can pick it up at least on these last 2, hopefully. This one we just need to throw for a total of 25 yards while on the run. So looks like we're going to be scrambling out just a little bit. Does look like our team ended up scoring somehow. So let's see if maybe we can actually scramble out here a little bit. There we go. That kind of counts. And he held on to it. That's a good 10 yards right there. So, hey, I think that's really the first real progress we've made on any of these challenges. So, there we go. We just need to scramble out a little bit more now. As we're going to scramble out to the right. Come back to it. Nope. He ends up stepping out. Dude does not have much awareness there, unfortunately. And so now we got 3rd and inches, which means we might actually have to run for the first down. We'll, or we could just hit him out in the flat. Yeah, I did not realize that guy was blitzing on us. But thankfully that allowed him to be just wide open. Not necessarily anything, on the run. But at least we ended up picking up yards and a first down so we can get more on the run. Let's see what we can do here, though. Scramble out this way. Oh my gosh, do we really have a good arm? Apparently it's a good arm, just not an accurate one. As he was free down in the end zone, but unfortunately, just a little too much out of his range. So again, maybe we have to go from shorter passes just to have, again, just the accuracy to be able to deal with it. And nope, a little short on that. We threw across our body anyways. So come on, at this point now, again, as much as I want to get the yards after scrambling out a little bit, we really do want to pick up a first down too. So let's do something. Why did he not throw it? Damn it, I thought we were behind the blind too. That sucks because we end up losing 10 points for that as well. So let's get to the last one. This hasn't been the best first game, but hey, we're learning. All we have to do is complete a first down by passing on the run. Now, the question is, can someone hold on to the ball? Oh, nope. Apparently, the guy can't stop the guy coming in the backfield. I didn't realize for some reason now it's 4th and 15. Didn't realize that we came in the game on third down, so that's on me, which means we really need to complete this pass, especially for a first down as we run into the defender. And so maybe that wasn't great. At least we get 200 points for at least not allowing the INT or the pass breakup. So again, a pretty terrible game, and it looks like we have a chance of going down to a 3-star prospect. We are only 431st nationally, 12th in the state, and 31st quarterback. So don't know many teams that are really going to be extremely interested in us. Find out as we progress through our high school years. Yeah, so we've got college entrance exams this week, and he's going to be studying. Should we do it or do we wing it? Feel like we should prepare for the next game, but screw it. Let's study. The way we played in that first game, we're not going to be getting any good scholarships. So let's do that, and maybe Stanford will take us just based on our academics alone. So we do get school interest increased. That's great because, again, that's going to help with Illinois, and that probably should help with Stanford as well. But still, speaking of Stanford, here's their coach. Been watching us, and we could be a gem in the recruiting class. That's great. Are you sure you saw that first game? Either way, we're going to accept the challenge because they are the #1 school on our list. And hopefully we can end up beating that highlight moment, or at least end up being able to do well in it. So it looks like we do have 6 this time with the moments because of that extra one from Stanford. So needless to say, we're going to be putting that one on the list. But also, we're going to go under pressure because, again, this team has been really great with pressure. So if we can make that happen and be able to prove that we're good against a team that gets pressure, then, again, that should be able to up our chances of getting into other schools as well. Let's also go for the screen one. That one feels like that could be pretty easy. And honestly, let's go end zone escape as well. Complete passes for 30-plus yards and complete a shotgun pass. A lot of the plays that we've been running have been out of shotgun, so that might actually be easy, and at the very least, that should be an extra 50 points. So for this first one, all we have to do is really, again, avoid sacks here. And again, is if we could run or pass for a first down or a touchdown, that'd be pretty damn great as well. As we do have the tight end out in the flat. Oh, and he gets around him. That's impressive. That's a big gain right there for a first down. First one on the first play of the game. Although we did have a pretty good first play in the last game as well, and then it just went downhill from there. But not this time. Not this time. As we get him yet again. Honestly, he's our most reliable receiver. Yeah, all of our other receivers have just been dropping balls, so hell, you know what? Let's hope for the best here. Maybe they've actually learned from that last one. As we get it out to the sideline, and yeah, he can't catch it. Although that one was a diving one. So now on 3rd and 6, we really just want to be able to sprint out to the left. Question is, who's going to get open? I wish that he would have went on the playmaker that I tried to send him on, but instead that's going to be a 4th down. But at least we didn't get sacked. And even though we were only able to complete 1 from that first set, hopefully we can actually do it on this one. There really isn't anything that we specifically have to do. We just need to, I guess, run for a touchdown. I think we can definitely do that. Good news is they're actually pressing him off the line on this one, so maybe Hyde can get some good separation. As he does, maybe he'll be open for a touchdown. At the very least, he catches it for a first down past midfield. I also still need to remember that our main objective on this one really is to scramble. So, you know, we want to have good passes, but we don't want them to be too good. As thankfully, that does get completed for only a gain of 3. Thankfully, no one went out to actually really cover him. But again, we need to really work on our scrambling, which, again, we are not incredibly fast. But we're also no slouch either, as we're going to run this one up the middle, and we only gain 2 on that one. And, you know, this will give us a little practice for the one that's going to come later in the game. We're going to go for a nice... There we go. Screen pass. Although our blockers don't get out there, we just didn't have much time. And so unfortunately we ruined that one, and now our chances of getting into Stanford are going to be, well, not a little less. We're still going to get in no matter what, but our chances of actually being a starter for them are going to be a little tougher. But now for this one, all we got to do is do a shotgun pass for a first down and hopefully get 30 yards as well. So let's make sure that everything is out of the gun in this one. And let's see what we can do despite the fact that we are pretty backed up here. Question is, who's going to be able to get free? As that's going to be our tight end, who can't hold on to it because he gets hit as soon as the ball hits his hands. Go for another screen again just because, hell, maybe we won't get pressured as much. And unfortunately this time, our running back can't hold on to the ball. I mean, I do need to remember that we are in high school, so these guys aren't necessarily going to be great receivers, but at the same time, catch something. Come on, that's a short-ass pass, too. So maybe we can complete this one. And no, that goes off his hands as well. And we are just not apparently at a great high school for football. This is one that we should be able to ace right here. Really, realistically, it shouldn't be that difficult as long as they catch it. It is going to be the screen passes. So let's see what we can do to really specifically just go for those. As hopefully he'll actually be able to catch this first screen. I think it's the same guy that didn't catch the first or the one on the last drive. And yeah, we aren't able to get that out. We're going to have to get that out a little bit quicker. So we're going to go the same play. And this time we'll actually get that out. He'll catch that. And he only ends up picking up... Oh no, he breaks a tackle. And still only ends up picking up 4 yards on that one. So, yeah, not great. Now we have to pick up the first down on this one. So let's see what he can do. Maybe he can actually get the blocks. And yes, he does. And that should be a first down. Not quite for 10 yards, but it will be a first down. Again, we are going to exclusively be going into screen passes because, again, I don't trust the receivers to catch the ball regardless. So, there we go. Can we get 10 yards on this one? Just get that first down. Dude literally just screwed us over right there. If he would have just continued to run, then yeah, we would have been fine. He would have picked up 10. Instead, that's 9 yards, and it's a 2nd and 1. So we're going to send him in motion, give him a little bit of a different look. Granted, we are literally doing the same exact thing. As we get it out to him, gets out to the sideline, and that's only going to be about 7 yards. Again, he's getting pretty much everything with the exception of the yards that we need to get. He's gotten 9, he's gotten 7, he's gotten 4, but definitely has not picked up the 10 that we need yet. Hopefully we'll get it on this one, though. As we would have if we would have been able to throw the ball. Instead, we get sacked for a loss of a mile. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. So let's go. Come on. Now you got plenty of room. Plenty of room to run. Drop back. There we go. He had all the room in the world. All the room in the world and still decided not to do a damn thing. Just decided not to catch the ball. Let's see. 3rd and 18. Now we need that first down right here. Come on. And no, we can't even get the ball out. And yeah, I guess that's the downside of continuing to go screen after screen after screen. Oh, and unfortunately, that ended up dropping us down, and now we are like the 2600 prospect. And we are unfortunately now down to a 2-star. That's not great, which means we really need to pick it up in these last couple games just to actually have a chance of getting into the schools that we want to go to. Realistically, Miami, Illinois, Florida State, pretty much all out of the question. Because now we are down to a 2-star, and again, almost down to 3,000 nationally. And of course, Coach is not necessarily that excited about it, but we'll give him a polite answer. We don't really want to, burn a bridge here. And let's hope that we can just find a way to get Stanford interested again. Really don't care what Coach has to say here. I know we're a senior. It's senior night. He wants us to really manage our top 10 list, so we'll give him a polite answer and just say whatever. And here we go. Alex, wonder if we're going to go to homecoming. We are not. We're going to work with our trainer because we need to get a lot better. Screw homecoming. It wasn't fun when I went to it. But the good news is we do get a +5 to deep throw accuracy, and that would have helped us in that first game. Instead, it looks like we're going to be facing Mount Carmel. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to do everything that isn't the bailout, because I don't think that we're going to be having a lot of opportunities to really scramble out and be able to pick up touchdowns. So let's go with the other 4 and let's see what we can do to actually complete one of these challenges. Look, I know we haven't necessarily been doing well, but also part of it is because of the receivers that we have. These guys are not good at catching the ball as we lead them down the sideline. Great catch. And that actually completes one of the drive goals. That's awesome. Now all we have to do is be able to get a touchdown. Something we haven't done our entire high school career, despite the fact that our team has. Let's see if we can change that on this one right here as we get it out to our tight end, who catches it and then just throws it behind him like it's a fucking hot potato. So let's go with a double go right here. Let's see what we do to get one of our receivers free. Granted, they do have 2 safeties deep, so let's see what ends up happening. Maybe we can actually get that deep throw accuracy working. Which we do. We hit him in the hands, but dude cannot hold on to the ball again. Now we're faced with a 3rd and 10. We need to find someone who's going to be open for a first down. Question is, who's it going to be? As that's our tight end, who just, again, bopped it up into the air, and that's an INT. So let's see what we can do on this drive. Again, that was a very unfortunate INT because that shouldn't have been picked. But there we go. Great catch right there. That at least is going to get us closer to the first down marker. It'd be nice to actually find Khan across the middle here. But unfortunately, maybe he will. Yeah, he comes back, but nope. Ball hits him in the hands again. But still cannot catch the ball. So let's go. Probably one of our last opportunities to be able to pick up a first down on this one. Let's see if we can get someone. There we go. Nope. Well, hey, good to know that even the defenders can't catch the ball just like our receivers. Our field does not look good right now. But let's see if things can change as we end up handing that ball off. And of course, no yards. Good to know that it's not just us throwing the ball that's a problem. It's the rest of the team as well. Let's go. I know we need to scramble for a first down, but we also would love to be able to get closer to the end zone. As yeah, he can't hold on to it yet again. I know that one was more of a jump ball, but still, a lot of the other ones were very, very catchable. And damn it. Yeah, see, like that's one that was catchable as well, but nope. Just too much pressure as well, and just everything's falling apart. I mean, realistically, we should have just went to a different school, right? Come on, we're in the red zone this time. Let's make sure we actually get in the end zone. As unfortunately, on 4th and 1, we're going to have to try something a little different. I did not realize that it was 3rd down. So all we need to do is just get a yard. That's it. So someone needs to be reliable here. As thankfully he catches it, and that's going to be a score. Looked like he was getting messed with over there. I think that's probably the best way to put it. But still found a way to get open. And that's our first actual moment completed. And wow, we're that bad that the only school that has given us an official offer now is Kent State. And also Charlotte. Awesome. Schools that we don't really care about, including Georgia Southern. And apparently Arkansas got put in our top 10, and coaches telling us that they don't want us. We don't give a shit. No one wants to really go to Arkansas. Let's rebuff them. Say less. I didn't want to go there anyway. Oh, but speaking of schools that we had on our list, Coach Lewis from San Diego State. That's great. Yeah, we have potential, but he wants to see something special to truly consider us, huh? Say no less. Let's see what we can do to actually make that happen. We already screwed up the one with Stanford, so let's see if maybe we can actually do better for the one against San Diego State. So needless to say, that one is definitely going to go on the list. Other than that, though, we're going to go major look. We're going to look for a trick play. I don't know necessarily where they are in the playbook, but we will definitely find them. And let's go with the playmaker as well. I tried doing that one of the earlier games. Well, let's see. Maybe I just hit the wrong button on it. We'll try it this time and hope for the best. I've been looking for a trick play, and obviously we've taken 3 delay game penalties. So let's see if we can get some of those yards back right here. Why is he not scrambling? And we kind of find ourselves in a predicament at this point. That's probably going to get picked. No? That was actually caught by... What? So he can make that catch But dude hasn't been able to make a catch on like a normal ball to him all season. Gotcha. Thankfully, that actually satisfied one of the goals. That's awesome. What about that was a trick play? I have no effing clue. What matters, though, is the fact that we ended up doing it. Now we just got to do it on a touchdown. It's going to be the main thing. Question is, who are we going to find for a touchdown? Hyde looks like he's going to potentially be open. Come on. Nope, that one gets swatted away. Probably shouldn't be thrown deep that often, to be honest with you, but it's more fun that way. I don't know. Either way, someone's going to get open on this one, especially on third down. So come on, they're sending a blitz. They're out in man. There we go. Great catch across the middle. May have taken them, 4 weeks to be able to learn how to catch the ball? But better late than never, I always say. So to be honest with you, I never said that. I don't believe so. Okay, just hit him out of the backfield. That's perfect. Well, at least we know if we need to throw the ball on the run. That's not a bad play to go with because he's going to be at least pretty alert. So, let's go. 2nd and 7. Again, we just need to work this methodically down field, as thankfully he's just wide open. Again, where was this in some of those other games? Either way, that counted as a trick play touchdown. I think that's the first one we scored in high school. Yeah, actually, that was our second. Sorry, we had one in the last game, but neither here nor there. What we have to do now is just go for the playmaker. Can we scramble out? Nope, we cannot. All right. Hey, at the very least, we attempted to get him to playmaker, but now all we have to do is do it for 10 yards. It's going to be easier said than done, but at least it's a possibility as we do with the tight end who can't hold on to the ball. Again, I know this isn't necessarily making it easy for us to be able to get points and stuff like that, but if the game wants us to do playmaker and stuff like that, they're going to get the fucking playmaker. So let's see if we can hit him deep. And no, that gets intercepted. We knew that was going to eventually happen, but at least we got one of the goals. All right, but now we finally have the one for San Diego State. This would be a 6x multiplier if we could actually get the passing touchdown. And if we could actually start down close to the red zone, that'd be nice, but obviously that is not going to be the case. So let's see what we can do to hit someone. Someone's going to be open here. And it's going to be our guy down the sideline on the wheel. Beautiful. Thank God. About time we actually get a play to work for us. And that's going to be a long touchdown. And even though we couldn't do it for the challenge for Stanford, at least we did it for San Diego State. Maybe we're not going to have to go to Delaware. And now all we have to do on 3rd and 5 is just get us down to field goal range. And thankfully we have a couple of guys on the mesh here. But also Hyde could be wide open too. As he does get that release. Come on, hit him. That's what I'm talking about. We're now in field goal range, but it would be even better to be able to get that touchdown. And why not try it on the same play that we got the touchdown on last time? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At the very least, he should be wide open here. Or not, because they are going into a zone. I don't know why I was expecting them to go into a man, but needless to say, that did not happen. So let's see who's going to get open on 2nd down. Hey, we've proven that we can actually get first downs. Question is, can we do it in a clutch situation? As we're going to be scrambling out. No way that was going to get picked. I thought we were going to be able to get that out. Just a little flick of the wrist. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And that falls incomplete. So come on. I don't know why we're going play action here. But at least coach is allowing us to go for it on 4th and 16. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, a field goal would actually tie it up and everything. But nope. Not today. That's not the way we play it. Get there. Get open. Nope, that gets swatted away, and we're probably going to lose this one. But at least we reach field goal range. Well, the good news is at least Hawaii wants us. So if it isn't San Diego State, at least it's another team in the Mountain West. But there we go. We finally get that offer to San Diego State, so that's good. And Utah State as well. Apparently, it's the whole Mountain West Conference. We still really want to be able to get Stanford, but hey, at least we have a couple of schools that actually want us, even though our tape score is only 1,100, and we're still only a 2-star athlete. So it looks like San Diego State's coach is actually pretty impressed with how we did in that last game. So that's awesome. We did end up getting that. So let's give him a polite answer and say thank you. Who doesn't want to be in San Diego, am I right? So we do get that scholarship bonus for going to with San Diego State. And now we get a chance to see what our fate is with Stanford, as it looks like, yeah, they're not going to be able to offer a scholarship, but we have a chance to join as a walk-on. So we'll thank them for the opportunity and just kind of see what we can do. So with all that in mind, it looks like we do have to cut it down to 3 schools. So since San Diego State was really the only school to give us an offer, obviously we'll have them up there. We do still want to have Stanford up there as well. And maybe one of the other schools that offered us a scholarship. As you see, Stanford, we are only halfway there with that. San Diego State is up there as well. And honestly, we gave kind of a dick response to the Arkansas coach. So let's put him up in the number 3 as well. Just so we can, I don't know, screw with them a little bit. I don't know. So we'll keep them in the top 3. Again, it's not like the bigger schools that we're looking at, like the Miami, Florida State, and Illinois. We're going to be that interested, but it's okay. All we have to do is focus on the schools that actually care about us, and that really kind of boils down to San Diego State. Either way, we do have one more game here, and it's going to be against Rock Island. And I think we are just going to be choosing all 4 of them except for the chain mover. Because at this point, I don't think it's really going to matter. And this one, all we have to do is audible. And for as few of challenges that we've completed during high school, it'd be nice to actually complete one in this last game. So let's go out there. Let's see if we can actually complete a pass for 50 yards or more. And if we're going to do that, just like the last couple times, it's probably going to be with like that mesh spot. So let's go with that, and let's see what we can do to actually get Hyde wide open out there. Doesn't look like he has safety help, so let's see if we can just bomb it to him. Come on, you're a tall guy. Go up there and get it. Nope, he does not do that, and we're going to do that 2 more times, just preferably with different plays. It looks like Hyde and Ekior are going to potentially be open out there. There's only one safety, so I'm going to trust the guy that doesn't have the safety draped all over him. We'll send him in motion. And yeah, I think we're going to try to hit him deep again. I said we were going to try it. And unfortunately, he's still got stone hands. So maybe we just don't trust him with that. Maybe we can actually hit our tight end down the middle. Daniel might actually be there. If not, Ekior might be free. Let's see. Who's going to be there? I trust our tight end more. We got hit when throwing it, so we didn't get the ball deep downfield, but at least he ended up catching it. And now we're literally at about midfield where, yeah, we need to complete a 50-yard pass. This is going to potentially be the last time that we have that opportunity. Let's send him in motion again. And let's just hope he can catch this 50-50. Come on, go up and get it. Nope, he is not. Again, couple more opportunities to be able to make that happen. As, again, we're going to be sending Hyde out there. Eventually, 1 out of every 10 he is going to catch. So let's hope it is going to be this 1 out of 10. Come on, just get deep. Get deep. Let's go. No. He cannot hold on to it, and he just ditches it behind his back yet again. So let's go. Potentially, again, our final opportunity right here. And let's see if we can make the best of it. As who is going to get open? Oh, why did you double? No. I screwed that up. X and Y got confused to me, and I went with the wrong one. So even though we weren't able to get it on that one, I bet you we get a 50-yard touchdown on this ball right here. I'm calling it. I don't know why. I'm just calling it. Yep, and that is going to be a 50-yard touchdown to the other team. Either way, at this point, we've already gotten the offer to the only school that we're really going to choose. So, at this point, we're just, I don't know. We're trying to figure something out. Are you f***ing kidding me? At this point, I just want to get in the f***ing end zone. So let's see what we can do to do it on a play action. Good to know that one thing hasn't changed from college football 25 to 26. It's bullshit interceptions like that on the line. So after the career we had, I don't know why they even want to have us do this hat ceremony. Because it really doesn't matter. I mean, are there schools that offer the scholarships? Absolutely, but only one of the schools on this table has actually offered us a scholarship. So I think it's kind of a no-brainer, but we'll still see what ends up happening as we need to stand up, which hitting A apparently doesn't do that. And so let's continue to go back and forth. Do we go San Diego State, Stanford, or Arkansas? As let's take that right there. Let's do a fake pick. Is that what we're going to... No. I don't think so. And in fact, you know what? Let's just take their hat and just throw it away anyways. Screw it. We don't want to be with you. Screw you, Arkansas. Their coach doesn't even like us anyways. So, let's go with the one school that we know already offers us a scholarship, and that is going to be San Diego State. Unfortunately, it's the same thing that we did in College Football 25, but we do have the opportunity to transfer, and if we have to do that after a year or two, maybe we can do that, and if we're good enough, maybe we can go to a school like Stanford or Miami or one of the other schools that we had on our list that just didn't want us because we dropped down to a 2-star. So as it sits right now, we are quarterback 3. Again, that's nothing that's unexpected at this point. We kind of knew that we were going to be coming in as QB3, especially since we don't know necessarily what our overall is. But it looks like our offensive coordinator wants to talk to us. And it looks like he's just giving us the rundown of what we're going to be doing every single week. Let's get that polite answer, and let's actually start to invest some of these skill points. But as it sits right now, we're a 66 overall. Now, Denegal, who is the captain and starting quarterback, is only an 82 overall. But we definitely need to make sure that we get better than Darius Curry because, again, we're 10 overalls off. But again, a lot of that is going to depend on our coach trust, which we're going to be able to build up in practice. Now, this is a bye week, but we are going to upgrade our player because we have 58 skill points. And realistically, we're going to have to really invest those here. Now, it does look like that power is going to be the most expensive one. We are going to up that once, and that keeps us at a 66 overall. We're going to go with accuracy a bit because, again, we do need to be a little bit more accurate, and that is upping our overall pretty quickly. Now, we are already up to a 71 just doing it a couple times, 73 when we get it up to that point. Now, we do have 32 more points. I think that upping our awareness is going to be pretty helpful, too. So let's do that, I think, 3 times. The elusiveness is going to be pretty important, so let's do that a couple times, too. And then, honestly, I do want to do the quickness once as well, because we need to be a little bit faster than a 73 speed. Now, we do have 8 skill points left, and honestly, I really do want to do that for accuracy. That is going to be pretty important, so let's up that once. And then we do have 3 more skill points. Realistically, if we're going to be a backfield threat, then let's up the elusiveness as well. And that brings us up to a 77 overall. That doesn't necessarily bring us up to the, I think, 82 overall that the starting quarterback is, but that should put us over Curry, who is a 76 overall. Again, we do need to earn the coach trust to be able to move ourselves up that depth chart, but being a 77 overall should make it just a little bit easier. Now, again, we are going to be getting into practice in the weekly agenda next time, but for now, we wanted to make sure that we got up to our true overall by spending all our skill points and seeing where we're at on this depth chart. And again, even though we are number 3 on the depth chart, we are number 2 in terms of overall, so that should bode well for us over the course of this season and then getting into our sophomore season as well.